Well, in this video, we're going to see why the machine doesn't catch the bottom thread. It grabs the bobbin thread and we will see it in horizontal crab. Let's see why it does not interlace the thread both below and above. So let's see. First of all, let's remember we must analyze the thread from the upper tensioner and of the cabin below. They should come out well, not get stuck at any point and have the proper tension. Then we'll proceed with the two failures, the two factors that give us this problem, which is correct bar height of the machine and crab time, correct of the crab. If the height of the bar or the needle does not go down enough or goes down too much, it will not intertwine the threads. If the crab, the tip, it goes lower than the needle or very high, it won't sew either. It won't catch the top thread, it won't intertwine the threads, and it will give us that problem. So let's start with a water bar. Well, let's see. We are always going to place bar and needle. In this part, we will use this shovel and we will lift the bar, and we will find that all the machines already, they have some lines. In this case, this one has 3. What are these lines for? Well, now we are going to lower the needle bar. We're going to put the part lower. The middle line will stay at this point in this hub. We're going to move it closer. We see that the second line, it is flush with this bushing, which is a standard measure that the machine comes with, but I'm going to tell you a measure along with the pranchuela that can be much easier for us, since these lines normally they tend to be erased from the bar, and therefore so much when it gets erased, we are not going to learn what this ideal height would be. We are going to apply it. The small plate, puti, I'm a cool guy, huh? And we put the metal plate. Remember that this is in case the lines on the needle bar get erased. Then we put the tip of the needle at the highest point, and we will use a ruler which measures millimeters, and we will see that in most machines, not to say all of them, we measure from the tip of the needle to the flat part of the plate here, and it will owe us an instance between 14 and 15 millimeters. This is the correct height that the needle bar should have, and we do it with from the tip of the needle to the center. The top part of the plate should be between 14 and 15 millimeters, which is the standard height. On almost all machines, this would give us the correct height from this bar. If it doesn't give us this height, we need to loosen the screw that holds the bar and set it to the height we mentioned earlier. We are going to place it, and we see the screw that will always have a washer along with a screw, which is the one that always gives us and the height of the bar. If we loosen the screw, we can automatically lower it and raise the needle bar without the crab moving from that screw. We loosen it and give the needle bar time. Now we are going to continue with the crab adjustment. Well, now we are going to analyze. Lower the needle, put it in its lowest part, and it should rise 2 to 3 millimeters at that moment. The tip of the hook should pass above the eye of the needle, minimum 0.5 millimeters. This adjustment in all the machines that come with compressives to the side, we must always place it to the left, at the simosisa to the left, not in the middle part, neither to the right but to the left. So let's see how this thread tip is going. This end of the crab, which is responsible for taking the top thread, the thread from the needle. Let's see, there we see the tip, and we can see that it's out of time. This makes the machine not sew as we are passing the crab's tip at that moment. It's happening a bit lower than the eye of the needle. As we can see here, the eye and the tip are lower. This makes it the tip of the crab doesn't catch the top thread and it will reach us. Skipped stitch or it simply won't sew. We need to adjust the timing of the crab. So let's look at our machine from below. Most machines that work with this crab are adjusted from the bottom part, and let's see where we can make these kinds of adjustments. Well, Let's see, in this machine, most machines work with that belt a lot. Most, if not all, old ones fit the same. Currently, the most up-to-date plastics come with a different fit, but in general, most work the same way. So in this case, we are explaining this. Let's see how we should do it. Oh my, the movement of the crab with the needle bar. Let's unlock these two screws, and we can automatically move the crab alone without it moving on its own, the needle bar. So we are going to slightly loosen these two screws, not all the way, so it doesn't move the whole crab. We can move it a bit under pressure. Best regard, and we see that we can move the crab freely, and it gives us time. As we have already mentioned, the crab's point should go over the guba's eye so that it can take its thread. Let's see here. We see how we move the crab and the needle. The needle bar stays still, so we are going to put the needle in its lowest part. It rises from 2 to 3 millimeters, and at that moment we are going to move the crab by hand to go up, and there we see the eye, we see the tip. Then we move the crab and let it pass over us. How are you right now? A little more. There we see that the eye is already here, and we see that the tip is already passing over the eye. At that moment, we proceed to tighten the screws that hold it in place. We press it, and a little gift. Now we must secure this piece to the top, and then we proceed to tighten it. Tighten the screws firmly once we're sure about the adjustment. Now let's see, we pull the hand wheel. Remember that we are always going to make this adjustment with the needle at its maximum size to the left. And we see that the tip is passing above the eye of the needle. Let's remember it can't go too low or too high, because it will mess up the stitch. Now we will insert the needle. Turn the wheel to the right, and we will see where the tip passes. Okay, and we see what happens very high above the needle's eye. We can test it, and if it's keeping stitches, we can delay it a little. Let's go now to place it in the central part, and we will see. And there it goes, higher up to the eye of the needle. Going too high can also cause skipped stitches and sewing problems again. Put it all the way to the left, and we can move the crab back a little, just a little lower, and this way we ensure on the right side in the central part that it doesn't go too high and prevent us from skipping a stitch.